Mr. Kwanum is the special advisor to the Secretary of the government on public affairs. You could say that in a number of ways. Secretary on public affairs to the SGF, Secretary to the Government of the Federation. A fine morning to you, Terence. Thank you very much for making time for us this morning.
Thank you very much, Uncle Yoro, and thanks for having me in.
Our pleasure, sir. Now, there's a thing that I know you can help us clear. Apparently, the governor purportedly, gave an interview that we have seen is being interpreted not necessarily in a favorable light to the good people of Benue State. So the thing to do is to ask you to please state and clarify what the position is from the point of view of the government in Benue.
Yeah, thank you very much, Uncle Yori. Like you rightly stated, the governor gave an interview in the Vanguard on the 8th of June to mark his anniversary in office. But there were some statements in that interview that we see that we need to clarify because as everyone is aware, my principal is the leader of the party, and if there are informations that are going to demean the integrity of leaders of Benue, and then informations to misinform our people, it is our responsibility to clarify them because he has worked hard to be able to build the new Benue that we have today.
Okay.
Like the governor stated in the interview, the governor accused the stakeholders and members of his campaign team of asking him to embezzle money of the state so that he will not be able to pay salaries and pensions to the civil servants of Benue. And we saw that statement as quite unfair and a tissue of lie. Has not been asked by anyone in the party, not on his campaign team, not any stakeholders of Benue State, to bring public monies for them to share. And it's quite unfortunate because even the civil servants and pensions he's talking about, he has been unable to pay their arrears, which was the issue by the time he was coming in. Because if you recall very well, since the President Bola Asuaju Tinubu came into office, the allocations to every state has quadrupled. And so if you are paying salaries on the same template that the immediate past administration have left, and your allocation to the state has increased by 4/4, it's quite unfortunate that he is appalling himself of paying salaries instead of the arrears being owed. If we look at our neighboring states of Taraba, Plateau, Cross River, and the rest, even Osun State, they have cleared all the arrears that they met on ground because of their improvement in allocations. So if someone is claiming to have paid salaries and pensions, which has not been an issue again in Nigeria because every state is paying salaries and pensions at the moment. Some states have even gone ahead to increase their minimum wage. And so if you're on a minimum wage of 11,000 in Nigeria, and then you're clapping that you're paying salaries and pensions when others are clearing the arrears they made, it's quite strange. And then for you to go accusing our stakeholders, it's quite unfair, and we need to clarify this for the world to know that no stakeholder and nobody on the campaign train of His Excellency Governor Harrison earlier has ever asked him to share public funds that belong to the people of Benue. Rather, we've been praying for him to be able to sit up and work for the people of Benue so that they will appreciate the mandate that they gave to him. And so we needed to clarify that immediately. And also, the challenge we're having with our security that is being politicized by our governor always is quite worrisome to us because our people are being killed on a daily basis. Our people are being driven away from their ancestral homes on a daily basis. The IDP camps are no longer attended to by this government. And then every time he comes to public domain, he's always clapping hands for himself of what he has done in terms of security when we know that we have those challenges on ground. And then always comparing himself with the immediate past administration is strange, because is it that the immediate past administration was enthusiastic, and then why did the people of Benue vote for him instead of going with the immediate past administration, that has become a yardstick for him not to work for the people of Benue? So these things put together became quite worrisome to us, and we needed to clarify them, because these misinformations get to our people and they become misinformed, and it becomes a source of worry to all the people of Benue. So was my responsibility to be able to clarify this, and that is what we are doing, Uncle Yore.
Okay. Now, the governor, for those who don't know, belongs to the APC. You know, he's an APC party. Now, all this campaign of calumny, if one were to go by the way you are stating it, you're putting it down to mischief makers from the opposition?
No. The issue is, if we look at the way the governor is going about his administration, he is more in the contest with the party that brought him to power. If you could recall, some time ago, the governor himself came up and accused National Assembly members who are members of his party that they wrote a letter and went to the border of Niger and Nigeria and dropped it there so that the Fulani people would come and occupy Benue. We challenged him to bring out that letter and bring proof that these National Assembly members have done that. And up to today, he has not been able to do that. And why did he do that? He did that because the senator representing the good people of Zone A, Senator Emmanuel Udende, at that time had moved a motion that his people are being killed on a daily basis. And so the Senate should be able to rise up and protect his people. And you saw what the Senate did at that time. They were able to confront the security forces to go to Benue Zone A and protect those people. And today, these tissue allies are also coming on the heels when the senator representing Zone B have raised a bill on the floor of the Senate that there should be a national open grazing prohibition law in this country to be able to regulate animal husbandry in this country. So at any time the National Assembly members try to represent our people well, we try to see reactions from the governor that are negative. He is always accusing them wrongly. And so we keep wondering what is wrong with the party that brought him to power. And so not that anybody is being an opposition to the governor, but we keep wondering why he himself is an opposition to the party that brought him into power.
Okay, I get it. Maybe indeed we'll get a call in from Benue State or from a stakeholder in Benue State in case they, have a perspective on it that they want to include in this particular conversation. But let me use the opportunity of where we've got to in this conversation and talk about the security in the state. What would be your assessment of the state of security in Benue State as we speak?
Well, Benue's security situation had improved at a point before His Excellency the Governor came in, because before His Excellency the Governor came in, cows were no longer roaming the streets of Benue, including even Makurdi, our neighborhoods, and everywhere, like the way they have been done today, because the open grazing prohibition law was in place and was being enforced by the immediate past administration. And so, today, if we go to Benue, Benue has become an open field for cows to graze openly as they want. There's no sanction on them. There's no enforcement of the law. Even at a point, there was a document that was flying that they were about to even repeal the law. And so, it became strange that the security of the state has been compromised. But this is the governor that before he came into office had promised even our IDPs that within 100 days, they are going to return back to their ancestral homes. He is going to secure Benue on a different strategy from what the immediate past administration was doing. We were all eyes and waiting to see how the strategy was going to work. This is 1 year going. The security situation in Benue is getting worse on a daily basis. In fact, Benue has turned into a field where it's no longer safe. The governor himself has to shut down the state by 10 p.m. because if you go to Benue now by 10 p.m., it's not possible for you to move up and down because the security situation is about to overwhelm the government. And so Benue closes by 10 p.m. That is to show you that the security in Benue is no longer guaranteed by anyone, and that is why we're in a curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. in Benue State. So it's quite sad that we found ourselves in that situation, and we are hoping and praying that we are going to overcome that in the shortest possible time, because the stakeholders are putting their heads together. That is why you can see the efforts that is coming from the National Assembly members. They are doing everything possible to make sure that our people are secured.
Okay, because as you just indicated, that's an unsatisfactory state of affairs. The state shutting down, as you put it, around 10 p.m. in the interest of safety. Because I was going to ask, so what are the stakeholders saying about this? This is an unsatisfactory state of affairs. As you yourself said, there are laws on ground preventing this whole matter of open grazing. And you just said earlier that the law is observed in its breach more than anything else. So what is the explanation for this situation? We know, of course, that not all are in favor of the law. Even as we speak, there are conversations going on in the National Assembly regarding a law that has been put forward proposing that the kind of law that they have in Benue will be extended to other states. There's a big conversation going on that. So maybe I should ask you, give me your sense of why the stakeholders are standing for it, especially an open disregard for the law, as you said.
Well, thank you very much for that question. Like I said, the stakeholders, those that are in the National Assembly, are making efforts within the law to be able to mobilize the security forces at the center, and also propose bills that are going to end this crisis once and for all. This issue of open grazing and crisis between farmers and herders is not just an issue of Benue, it's all over this country, and that is why the senator representing the good people of Zone B, Dr. Titus Tengizam, was able to propose that bill so that as a country, let's come together and be able to end this crisis once and for all. It is modern practice that all animal husbandry have to be raised, and that is where you can be able to get good output and productivity from these animals. And if you go to other countries, even smaller countries like Botswana, you realize that most of these animals are raised, and that is why they have been able to export good milk to enhance their economy. And that is what we are looking after here. These pastoralists we are talking about are people that are going through a lot of hazards. These are people that complain about snake bites in the forest. These are people that complain about people attacking them and rustling their cows in our forest. And so if there is a solution that will be able to bring these people out of these hazards and be able to put them in a place where even government can be able to assist them, monitor these animals, look at their health properly for them to be healthy enough for consumption and XYZ, I think is what all Nigerians need to embrace. The clauses in the bill that are a source of concern that people are raising, this is the bill for all Nigerians, and we are going to contribute through public hearing and the rest of it to be able to make it a law that is acceptable by all Nigerians. And so it's not a law that is going to be forced on people. It's a law that we are all going to contribute to make sure that this law is satisfactory to us, and this law is going to be beneficiary to us, and our own brothers that are in this business are going to have a better deal at the end of the day.
Okay. Let me take it from Peter, who has called in from Makurdi. Good morning, Peter.
Yes, sir. Yeah, good morning, everybody there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sir. I'm so very happy that I can be able to witness your program this morning. Believe me, what is happening in Makurdi here right now, in Benue at large, honestly speaking, is uncalled for. You cannot walk a kilometer away from Makurdi town. Anything from 7:30 p.m. in the evening, you cannot move away 1 kilometer from inside Makurdi town. Even inside Makurdi himself, kidnappers who kill Makurdi and kidnap people go freely. Upon all the barracks we have within the Makurdi metropolis there, nothing can be done. Nobody now have a free movement right now, I'm telling you right now. I'm never talking about some local government like local government. and Nakaka government there, those houses, you cannot go there right now, something. And those areas is a half of Benue where you can be able to get fish, get food products like yam, another type of cereals like grains from there. No road, and the governors always concentrate on only one side, like Bandikia. And so what this man was saying there, the man was right, honestly speaking. He was totally right. The government is not trying at all. Anything pertaining security is uncalled. Nothing like security in Benue State at large. And the government is only one-sided, only just one man business. If you can take appointment that this man is giving, you only give appointment to whoever he chooses. If you come for Benue now, unemployment is one of the best. It's one of the highest rates in the whole population of Nigeria right now. You can see our girls are be trafficking in Benin Republic, are be trafficking. I personally rescued a girl from Lagos State, Benue, last month. 2 girls. Because of what? No employment, no job, nothing. And instead of these people to unite and then make sure that they keep the youth as a good, with a good moral.
Well, thank you very much for calling in, Peter. It's a depressing kind of a report, but then you are on ground and you are telling us your experience as if, our guest, Mr. Kwana, you haven't stated it. Somebody on ground has now spoken about it as well. So I imagine there might be many more people that could also testify to this. It doesn't look like the security there is great. The question is, as you said, Terence, the authorities are seeking ways to work with the federal government to see what can be done to get more authority into the place. Let me just put it like that, so that laws cannot be flouted at will, and so that the law can be defended. If there's a law on the ground, then there are those whose responsibility it is to uphold the law. But from what Peter just said, and also I could discern from what you had said earlier, people are just doing what they like, and it looks like there's nobody to question them. And they actually, I got the impression that Peter didn't need to specifically state so, but he was saying that the governor, at the very least, could be said to be looking away from these situations.
Yeah, thanks so much, Uncle Yori. It's quite correct what he just said, because it's unfortunate. Look, if you shut down a city because of security situations by 10 p.m., you know that a lot of people are going to lose jobs, because the whole entertainment industry has been shut down in Benue. And you know what we are losing there in terms of security, in terms of unemployment, in terms of even the economy of the state is totally in shambles with these decisions because of the insecurity that we have on ground. Now, the sad thing is that anytime the governor goes out to discuss these things, he paints a picture as if he has been able to secure the state, which he has not. And then, secondly, what is even worrisome is that the logistics he's supposed to deploy to the security people that have been deployed from the federal government to assist in the state, he's not doing it. Since for 1 year running, this man has not been able to buy any logistic vehicle to any security, and I'm sure he's not giving any assistance to the security agencies that are in Benue. And that is what we've been confronted with this. We know exactly what the immediate past governor was doing to the security agencies in Benue, and why we could go to bed and close our eyes and sleep, because Benue was secured. At least, we were even trying to relocate, take our people back to their ancestral homes. It was just for the military to be able to clear those areas until this election came. And this man came in 1 year ago. Every place has been turned around. We cannot be able to move in our state freely. People come within, a school within Makurdi, the capital of Makurdi, was shut down because terrorists invaded the school. The immediate past chief of staff to the governor was kidnapped. The wife was kidnapped right in his presence within the city of Makurdi.
It's a very
kidnappings I'm talking about are in the capital city. It's not even in the outskirts. So it's quite it's a sad situation that we have on ground. And we want the governor to confront these decisions as the chief security of the state, who is receiving security votes from government on a monthly basis, who has all the resources to be able to protect the people of Benue.
Okay, sir. Let me just say at this point that His Excellency, the Governor, Hyacinth Alia, if he's hearing this or his men are hearing this, they have a right of response if they care to take it up. So we'd like to hear from them too what they want to say on this situation that is being discussed here. Now, Samuel has called in from Jos. Good morning, Samuel.
Yes, sir, Uncle Buhari. Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling in, sir. Good morning.
And I want to thank my uncle there in the studio.
Okay. That is
Terence
Kwanam.
It's quite unfortunate what is happening in Benue State. That is where I came from.
Please go ahead. Samuel, please continue. Oh, it looks like the call dropped. Well, Samuel had wanted to contribute to the conversation because it's his home state. And as had been said earlier by Peter, no. Aha, Samuel, okay, you're back on. Continue, please.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
What is happening in Benue State is pure godfatherism. And I wish those people can be able to learn from President Tinubu. When Gabriel Susan took over, it was the same issues. This person, Governor Otom, the same issues. Now we have Reverend Father Adasu, Reverend Father Alia, the same issues. Benue State, what we used to know Benue for, food basket of the nation. Look at, we have fruits. We don't have any tangible development in Benue State. No single company that is even operating in the talk of even fruits. You know the thousands of oranges that have been moving out of Benue. We don't have factories to produce. We are tired of all these things. Those that are behind what we need in Benue State to be is development. Enough of all those things.
Okay.
If this man is there to work, they should allow him to work. If he's not doing to do it.
Well, thank you very much. Samuel, thank you very much for calling in from Jos and fleshing out the report. At least we've heard in the short time that we have on this segment, we've heard from two people that are stakeholders in the sense that they're citizens of the state and are very unhappy with the state of affairs. And just to say again that His Excellency Governor Hyacinth Alia, who heads up the administration in Benue State, we'd like to hear from him or his Commissioner for Information or whoever, anybody who can speak for that side as well to what is purportedly a seriously untoward state of affairs as regards the security in Benue State. Terence, my brother, we've run out of time, but thank you very much for bringing this to a more general attention. It's not everybody that knew that the situation was as serious, shall we say, but we'll wait to hear from Government House in Benue State. I want to thank you very much, Terence Kwanam, Special Advisor to the SGF on Public Affairs, for coming on our program this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uncle Ray. I appreciate it.
Okay, then. Okay. So stay with us, please. We'll take a break now. We'll be right back to continue with the program. And then we'll be looking at the court validation of the pro-Wike lawmakers' seats in Port Harcourt. That's up next.
There is always more to a story than the scribbled line. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed. and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Every week, Green Angle, in partnership with Wild Aid, will bring you a documentary series on environmental issues affecting Nigeria's amazing biodiversity, from climate change, air pollution, and wildlife conservation. We will be traveling across Nigeria to give you on-the-ground report of the issues affecting our environment. It airs every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
The following is a paid presentation by Shopex TV.
Tired of pants that scratch and...
There is always more to a story than the scribbled line. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News,
Okay, welcome back. And our friend, Barrister Fred Nzeako, he's here. He's a political affairs analyst, among other talents. We bring them out depending on the context. So thank you very much, Fred, as always, for coming on.
Many thanks, Jerry. Good morning.
Hey, Jerry. Now, the court validating the pro-Wike lawmakers, as they are known, 27 lawmakers in Rivers State, saying that they remain members of the PDP and that their seats are intact. That has led some to, you almost jump into something of a furore. The Attorney General of the state has, faulted, and I'm not surprised at that, has faulted that judicial pronouncement. So let me take it from you. You've been following it. You are a man of the law. Give me your impression of this state of affairs.
I think the state of affairs in Rivers continues to be baffling and more confusing to a lot of people. But let's look at this one on two premises. Okay. One on the premise of law, and the other on the premise of equity. Okay. On the premise of law, you have a sub-premise of jurisdiction, because this is a matter that ordinarily should be within the jurisdiction and purview of the Federal High Court, because INEC, the electoral umpire, the electoral management body that conducted the election, which is now being contentious, has become a party to the suit. And once INEC is now a party to the suit, judicial naturally lies with the Federal High Court. So it is no longer a matter of, it is a Rivers affair. Yes, it's a Rivers affair with an appendage of INEC. Now, on the issue of equity, equity takes as done that which ought to have been done. Okay. And what it now means is that it is equitable to say that these men had renounced their membership of People's Democratic Party in public glare.
Okay, it is equitable to say as much.
Yes, I said so, equitably, because the argument is that what makes one a member of a political party? The court was the opinion that mere pronouncement or a media address of membership was not enough.
Yes,
that's the opinion of the court.
The opinion of the court.
Now, but the court should take judicial notice of the fact that in equity, it takes as done that which ought to have done, which means that pronouncement is step number one towards belonging to another political party. The other steps.
The court also.
The other steps are you go to your ward to take your political party membership card, all right? But without such pronouncement, you cannot go to take your card. So it is a matter of putting the cart, or rather the horse before the cart. The first step, you make a declaration, which is an intention, which is a personal intention. The next step is you now go and take your membership via getting registered in the party political membership register. And you are now given a card. Some political parties don't have cards.
Okay.
So it does not mean that if you don't have a card, you are not a member of a party. Because many parties don't have cards, but when they have the cards, they now give out. Some even have cards that they say have expired. And then when they now review their membership or revalidate their membership, they now issue new cards. So that does not make you a non-member of the party. Political party is an association that you freely belong to and freely exit if you don't want to belong to anymore. So if one has freely decided to join a political party, it becomes very curious whether the court is in a position to insist that a man who has openly said he does not belong to this place, does it lie with the court to say you must belong there?
Because as the court ruled, as far as that judge was concerned, Justice Okogbule Basam, that their names remain on the register of the PDP. So in his wisdom, he had declared that they remained members of the PDP. I know you're going to come back on that, but we prepared a package. It slipped my mind. Let me just play this package for you on this subject matter, and we'll come straight back into studio.
The claimants, Hyacinth Amadi and 3 others, approached the court to challenge the eligibility of Martin Ameohile and 26 other lawmakers as members of the House of Assembly. It is just one of the cases that have come before the judiciary relating to the lawmakers' controversial defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. The court in its judgment held that the lawmakers are still members of the PDP after the claimants failed to provide proof as required by law of the defendants' membership of the APC. The presiding judge, Justice Okogbule Basam, faulted the absence of the APC membership register showing the names of the lawmakers and their membership cards, amongst others. He added that public statements and media publications do not serve as proof of defection.
For declaratory reliefs, it's not about what I admit or what other person has admitted to. It is about you proving your case. You don't rely on the weakness of the defendant's case. You must, by the operation of law, prove the case on its merit. You must show that, in fact, that the persons you are alleging to have defected has in fact defected. It's not about what goes on the internet, what you watch on TV, what you read up on the pages of newspaper. That is not where defection takes place. If you need to say that somebody has defected and has also become a member of another political party, you must show hard evidence of membership register of one such person belonging to another political party.
The judgment of the State High Court comes as a relief to Martin Ameohile, whose position as Speaker of the House was threatened by the emergence of a faction.
The court clearly stated that Right Honorable Martin Chike Ameohile remains the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, as well as other members are quiet and remain members of the State House of Assembly, and their laws, the laws that are passed, are legitimate, and the state government is bound to obey the laws passed by these honorable members. That's exactly what the court said this morning.
The court in its judgment also held that there was no proof that the lawmakers are no longer members of the PDP through resignation, death, expulsion, or procurement of another party's membership.
Okay, that's the report that perhaps should have preceded this, but it's well known to a lot of people who have been following these matters.
Yes.
There are those who are saying that it would appear that his lordship, Justice Okogbule Basam, sort of jumped into the fray with this particular ruling.
Well, I will not blame the judge in a manner of speaking, because the judge will judge based on the facts brought before him, based on the evidence brought before him. If the counsel or any of the litigants fail to bring the facts before the judge, then the judge will not go and manufacture facts by himself. And from what the lawyer said, that they did not bring evidence that those members have left PDP, apart from newspaper publication and then the declaration. But then, that's where it looks like the lawyer on the other side did not possibly do what he was supposed to do.
Okay.
One, there is a matter that is subsisting in the Federal High Court, where there was an affidavit of fact deposed to by these 27 members that defected. That affidavit on its own is a genuine case to show that they had left PDP.
But for some reason, it wasn't presented.
It was not presented. Two, Supreme Court had decided in the matter of Enang versus the other party, Cross River matter, that it was a Supreme Court decision of 2023 that membership of political party is the responsibility, it is the party that determines who are their members. PDP, as a political party, has written INEC and say, these men are no longer our members. Therefore, yes, they have. Therefore, come and conduct a fresh by-election.
But among the things that
to replace these 27 men that have defected,
the judge, observed that their names remained on the registers of the PDP.
They may have been an old register. It may have been an old register. Right? PDP has not reviewed its register. And of course, these men now brought an old register which predates their defection. A register that was older than the defection. So if you are now talking about the new register, their names should not be there. So but it is the party itself that will decide who are our members. So it is the party that should have furnished the court with all those evidence. But if the lawyer on that other side did not bring all those evidence, you don't blame the court in that instance. Because it is obvious that these men are no longer members of the People's Democratic Party. And meanwhile, if we claim that, newspaper publication is not enough, the people defected on the floor of the assembly. Although you cannot expect the court to go and look into the matter that happened on the floor of the assembly, but the publication and the address, the public are taking judicial notice of that. And if Yori, publish change of name in a newspaper, all right, that change of name will be recognized by the court.
Okay. Even if somebody it affects did not see it.
It will be whether you see it or you
not
see it.
Okay, let me bring in Bashorun, calling in from Iyanokpaja. Good morning, Bashorun.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Akuyori.
Good morning, sir. Please go ahead.
Akuyori, this is an interesting matter. It's interesting in the sense that you don't need to be a lawyer to be able to know the common sense about political party formation, being a member of a political party.
Okay.
If I'm a member of APC, if I want to leave APC and join another party, the first process that is known to every politician in this country is that you resign from your word. Anybody that wants to say a member of APC should be able to prove, bring the letter where I resigned. And that letter of resignation will go to my local government to the state level and they will approval. Then the party you are going to join, you can, if I belong to ABGA and I don't Bola Tinubu, if I'm a member of House, I can carry the APC flag and dance a Miloko or you want it as fun. All those people, what they did to me is just fun. They did not allow the PDP people to don't use their common sense to allow those people to complete the thing before they jump to court. Nowhere they can prove that those people resign legitimately from their party. You cannot remove my name from a register being a free application without my knowledge. Even if I go to NTA or TVC and say I'm resigning from APC, until I resign legitimately and join another party, I'm not a member of your party.
All right.
You cannot drive anybody to my party for mere pronouncement, like the judge said. The judge is right.
Okay, Bashorun, thank you very much. An interesting perspective.
Yes, Bashorun is right on one section, but he's not right on the fact that the party will decide who their members are. What PDP possibly did not do was to bring evidence to prove that these men are no longer their members. But if PDP had written INEC and say these men had resigned from the party, yes, what you said is right, that registration starts from your ward.
That's right.
Because registration also starts from your ward. So registration and resignation, they are local and they start from your ward. There are a lot of information that is not available to us.
That's right.
Whether these men actually resign at their ward level or not. But if you write your state party, your state chapter of the party and say you have resigned, you are no longer a member of the party, what the state chairman will do is to send the letter down to your ward. So it mustn't be that you must start from your ward. Even if you start from the national, depending on your clout and your capacity, it will be sent to your ward, and your ward will now take notice of that fact, provided that it came from you. What is important is that the fact of resignation must be personal. It must come from you, and nobody will hoist on you membership of a political party, because it is an association that you freely belong and you freely exit.
And apparently there is not sufficient evidence
before the court. From what we saw, but we heard from the voice of one person. By the time you hear the voice of the other, there may be evidence that the other party did not adduce. Meanwhile, the Attorney General of Rivers State has said there is a pronouncement of court saying you are no longer a member. So in which case, this is one pronouncement saying you are no longer a member, another pronouncement, this new one, saying you are a member. So which means it is a parallel pronouncement.
Well, according to the court.
Which, according to the court, one court had said so.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, Court of Appeal and ultimately Supreme Court will have a say on this matter.
Okay, let's hear it from Olalekon, calling in from Ijaye, Lagos. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling. Sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. I can hear you loud and clear. Please continue.
Please, I discovered one thing in this your program. Whenever this lawyer comes, he always likes to support the PDP. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Well, we mix them up. I'm surprised you said that. I mean, first of all, there's nothing wrong in supporting the PDP.
I don't understand. Let us know if he's a PDP lawyer, so we can know. So I don't really understand most of the time. Most of the adverts that you do, I will see him mentioning that Wike is the owner of the PDP party. We want to know the party that he belongs to.
Okay, but why don't you look at the law that he is spitting this morning? He's spitting from the point of view of the law. Forgive my street language.
He always biased. That's one thing about him.
Okay, that's the point you wanted to make. I'm sure.
Let him stand still, not to be biased.
Okay, so you don't agree with his analysis is really what you're saying. That's all.
Tell him I'm a member of APC, so he will rest.
Do you have an alternative presentation, sir, to counteract his? Oh, he's gone. Okay, what that gentleman wanted to say was to just levy an accusation.
I'm a member of APC. Let him know that, so he will go to rest.
Is that a fact?
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
You're not joking.
I'm not joking.
So there you go.
I'm not joking.
There you go. So it's a matter of that is the way he sees the law. For instance, you can see that I'm confirming and reconfirming from him. We don't seek out the political party.
The same way Amateur Amewule and group denounced PDP and said they now belong to APC. So it is not you to say I am not APC. I have said so myself. The same way the judge is not in a position to say no, you are not a member of APC. Wherever that the participant himself says he is a member, whether he means it or not, he has pronounced it, and then he will be held accountable for his pronouncement.
Yes, right.
I mean, because it is a freedom of, it's a free will association where you freely belong or you freely exit. I can come tomorrow and tell you I'm not a member of APC. I can come next tomorrow and tell you I have joined Labour Party. At any point, it is what I say that you will judge me with, and not another person imputing on me what I do not say. Yes.
Well, the court, according to the court, because that's the authority we have now, in this very second, as we are speaking, the court has ruled so that a defection can only be established through the party membership register, a membership card, and such members fulfilling all requirements of their membership in the party.
You see, Yori, if the people had joined the APC, if their name has been put in APC membership register, because there are issues and they want to run back, you don't expect that such register will be brought to the court. It is a subjugation of facts, all right? But the fact that are on the surface are the facts that PDP as a political party which they claim to have left,
yes,
had written INEC and said, come and conduct election so we fill these spaces.
I think
and then,
PDP has to be joined in that particular...
Of course, PDP should be joined. APC should also be joined in the party. But I don't know how that matter went. So we are now talking about the issue of jurisdiction, which is very important, is at the root of the whole thing, because in any matter or in any litigation where the jurisdiction is lacking, whatever pronouncement is made will go to nullity. And then when you now, that's why I say that there are issues of law and issues of equity. There are issues of jurisdiction and issues of facts.
I've been holding on to a call from Canada. Latif in Toronto, Canada. Thank you for holding on. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir, Uncle Yori. And good morning, Leah Fred.
Yes.
Those people, those lawmakers, they never defected at the first place. They're just taking the governor for a ride. Just trying to show him politics. That is what they are trying to show him. He never defected. This matter is still going to go on to the Supreme Court, and they are going to win. The best thing for the lawmaker and the state attorney, the best thing for the governor and the state attorney is just to track back and they settle everything. Otherwise, at the end of the day, the governor will be gone.
Okay, this opinion that you just gave, Latif, I beg your pardon. This opinion that you just gave, I just was curious. Are you a lawyer by any chance, or just an interested member of the public?
I don't have to be a lawyer.
I know. I just was curious because you stated, seriously that it's going to go to the Supreme Court and they will win.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That was your pronouncement.
Are going to win, and the governor will be gone.
Those are sarcastic statements.
The lawyer is not happy with that, but what I said, I can clearly see it on his face.
Okay. So the statements are sarcastic. No matter how brilliant you are, you cannot know the mind of the court. Yeah. Meanwhile, you don't have all the facts. The facts that will be laid before the court. So how can you now sit down in your home and decide for the court, up to the Supreme Court? I know that this matter will get to the Supreme Court, not only because there are conflicting judgments at the High Court level. The conflict will be resolved at the Court of Appeal. And thereafter, the party that does not like the judgment of the Court of Appeal, I can bet you will go to Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has said in a matter that I quoted that membership of a political party is an internal affair of the party. It is the party that will determine whether you are their member or not. It is not just anybody coming to say, oh, because if it goes to the issue of if the party has even given you a waiver, for example, it is the party that will...
their own internal business.
In their own internal business, and no court will query that. And that is exactly what is going to happen in this case. If PDP insists that these are no longer their members, and the people, like I said, had sworn an affidavit of defection in the Federal High Court, that affidavit on its own, suo motu, is enough.
Okay. Honorable Amadi in Port Harcourt, I believe. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah. Good morning.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay, I just want to put something straight. I was in the court, and the judge already declined jurisdiction on the matter for lack of local standing. But what they are presenting here is a different thing. The court did not validate. They should show the CTC, the certified true copy of the judgment. Simply put. Okay.
No. Please continue, because we could hear you clearly. I think there's an echo. There's some echo in the background.
What is the proof of resignation? Did these 25 members defect? The answer is yes, because their official resignation letters were read in the House, and they were approved and declared lawmakers of APC. Also, they took out a suit before Justice Okorowo, Federal High Court, stating on oath that they are now members of APC. What is there to talk about again? These are all proofs.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Honorable Amadi, for calling in.
You see, I'm very happy that somebody who is on ground, so to speak, has called in, lending credence to my argument and my proposition. And my position, that means that it is mere political gimmick that people are now trying to bring to the public, trying to turn the judgment or the decision of the court upside down to achieve political favor in the public. that the judge, because I talked about jurisdiction, the judge, it's a very clear matter that is not the matter for the state high court.
Okay.
And if the judge declined jurisdiction,
exactly.
So what are we talking about?
That is why he said the CTC, what is a certified true copy.
Has anybody brought it out? So bring
needs
it out
to be seen.
so that we now know, because Nigerians, especially politicians, they tell too much lies. Too much. Especially in order to achieve political advantage. Because this is a battle not only in the court of law, but also in the court of public opinion. Now they are coming to the court of public opinion with a lot of lies, whereas the court of law, you cannot go there with lie. There is an affidavit where they swore that they are no longer members. There is a letter where they wrote that they are no longer members. How can anybody now come and say you must be a member of PDP? It's not by force.
And we've just heard, from someone who
I'm happy with that call from
Honorable Amadi saying he was in court and that the judge actually declined jurisdiction.
I expected the judge to do so.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to leave it there. I want to thank you very much as always, Fred. Fred Nzako, this morning, he's operating as a political affairs analyst. There are times when the man operates
and a partyless man, so don't mind them.
No.
Don't mind
you are
man.
APC.
No, I now used my mouth again to say the same mouth that said I was APC. He now said he's a partyless man. So take me by my word.
Thanks, Fred, as always.
Many thanks, Yuri. Many thanks.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, and we'll pick it up again as soon as there is a need to. The CTC that was referred to just now, the certified true copy, people need to get hold of it and know exactly what went on. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition, but a special edition, and that is June 12th tomorrow. I'll see you then, God willing. Bye-bye for now.
The following is a paid presentation by Shopex TV.
Tired of pans that scratch and stick? Or cookware that takes up valuable space in your kitchen and are of little to no use? Cooking used to be fun, but now it just feels like a chore. Introducing Shopex Gotham Hammered Copper Collection, the perfect cookware to upgrade your cooking experience.